Hi, YouTube family. How are you doing today? It's Miss Margaret again, and I'm just sharing. It's another storytelling video. I hope you are enjoying some of my stories. Like I said before, some might make you laugh, some might make you feel upset or sad, but don't, because this is a channel where I want to remain positive. But why I share most of my experiences is to really give you hope and encourage you. And this is why I go into detail and share, because I've went through this and I'm still standing. I'm still here at 71 years old because I did not give up. I did not allow some of these circumstances and these situations to make me, feel bad about myself. But today I want to share some out of body spiritual experiences which I encountered. Uh, the first one is I remember, and let me tell you, I wasn't no Holy Ghost filled, water baptized Christian. I was just going through the motions. Okay? So, and I was in my 20s when I first had this experience. I think I could have been either 22 or 23. And so I remember one night I came in as usual, came in from work. I used to live alone and I didn't have any children yet. And so I came in, but even though I wasn't living the real Christian life, I always used to pray before I go to bed. And when I finish praying, I just lie down and I drop asleep. Because I was brought up in the church. My parents, they used to make sure we go to Sunday school and we go to church every Sunday. And so they planted that seed. And you know the saying where they say, train up a child in the way that they should go, and when they are old, they will not depart from it. So this was what my parents did. Even though they were not, living no Christian life, but they trained us up. And so I remember this night as if it was yesterday. And you see some of these spiritual encounters that I'm telling you about, some of them happened over 40 something years. But as soon as I start talking about them, it's as if it was yesterday this happened to me. It is so vivid. It is so on point. I could see it, I could hear it, I could smell it, I could taste it. It's as if an experience just happened a couple hours ago. And so my first experience was experiencing 3 angels. And I remember I laid in my bed and I was dozing off to sleep. I wasn't sleeping yet. And as I closed my eyes and I laid there, I was living in a little bachelor apartment, like one room. You have one little area where you have your bed, another little area where you can put your dining table, and another little area where they have like a little fridge, a little stove, and the washroom to one end. And when you come through the door, there is your coat closet. So that was what I could afford at that time, and that was where I was living. And from where my bed was, I could just turn and I could see the front door of my apartment. And when I turned, I saw 3 angels standing there. And it scared the daylights out of me. You might think, how do you know it was angels? They were dressed in long white robes. And they were radiating just light, just light, just light. It's like light was coming out of them. It's like their white robes was light, and the light around their head and all around their body. And they're standing there. I remember it was a male and 2 females. And the male was in front and the 2 females standing a little way in the back of them. And so the male said to me, Margaret, you're coming with us tonight. First thing that dawned on me, how does he know my name? And I said, no, I'm not. I'm not coming with you tonight. And he stopped, and the 2 females, they're smiling. And I'm looking at them. And he did not say anything anymore. So when I open my eyes, I can't see them. But as soon as I close my eyes, and I'm trying to go back to sleep, I can see them. They're standing there and they're not moving. I'm saying, wait, am I dying? Because I've heard all these stories when people are dying, their angels coming, their guardian angels coming to take them home to be with the Lord. Oh my goodness, I'm only 20-something years old, and I start crying and praying. I say, oh God, I don't want to die now. I don't want to die now. I'm still young. I'm still young. And then I feel as if I'm going back into sleep. I close my eyes, and they're still standing there. And at this time, I'm yelling at them. I say, I'm not coming with you tonight. I'm not coming with you tonight. And in a quick second, I closed my eyes. And the next thing I knew, I feel my spirit leaving my body through my feet. And I started flying through the air, through the window, because I had one big window in the living room. And the angel, the male angel, he's in front of me. And the other 2 female angels, they're right behind me on either side. And we started flying up to heaven. I'm telling you, I could feel the wind blowing to my ears. We were moving so fast. And then the other thing that dawned on me, These angels did not have wings. I didn't see any wings on them, but they could fly. You go figure that out. And we are going so fast. We are going so fast. Like this, at the speed of lightning. And I could feel the rushing wind just going by my ears, going by me. And saying, oh my mind is conscious of this. And I cannot tell you how long we were flying up to heaven. I realized it was heaven. And then, all of a sudden, we reached and we landed in a field. It was like on a lawn. And so the male angel, he said to me, okay, let's sit in the back here and listen. And I said, I was so shocked and so amazed. I started looking around. I said, wow, this is heaven? I started to look at the grass. I started to look at the trees. I started to look at the flowers. I've never seen grass that color, or trees, or flowers. The colors of the trees, and the colors of the flowers, and the colors of the grass. A totally different green that we would normally see on earth. Now, where we landed and we were sitting, there was a huge group of people. And there was somebody teaching. So there was, I'm going to say it's a man, but I did not see the face because he was wearing a gown with a hood. And the hood more or less covered his face. So I cannot say I saw the face of the person. But I know he was teaching and he was giving instructions. I did not see the other people because their backs were to me, because we landed way back of the group and we just sat there because that's what the angel told me. We were going to sit in the back here. But there were some people sitting there. They were wearing white gowns with this hood. Some of them had on like brown, I see the color of brown gowns with this hood. And the teacher, he was teaching because he was like standing at the front of the class and he's teaching and we're there listening in. The only problem is Margaret wasn't listening to a word he was saying, because Margaret was so fascinated by the trees, the grass, and the color of the flowers. And then I remember there was like a river running down. I've never seen water like this before. It was like crystal clear. And it looked like there was diamonds in the water. The way it was so shiny and so crystal clear. And I'm saying, wow. I look down now, and the way the grass was so soft and of a different shade of green that I have never seen in my life. And so I start putting my foot down on the grass and raising up my foot. And do you know, like when you walk in grass here on earth, the grass left like a little footprint, your little footprint in it. Not this grass. The grass pop up back right away like it was alive. And then I start to look at the trees and the flowers and the grass. It's like they were dancing. La 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 la. It's like they were alive. And this was fascinating to me to the point where I started to laugh. I'm saying, oh my goodness, I never knew that grass and flowers and trees were alive. I look at the trees, they're like dancing, waving, dancing, dancing. And I'm saying, what is this? I look at the flowers. I've never seen flowers like this. The colors, the vibrant colors, the different colors. I've never seen this on earth. And I'm saying, my goodness, this is another part of heaven. I look at the expanse of the lawn. I'm calling it lawn because I don't even know how to describe it. It's like the lawn is well manicured. And you have this river. You could hear the water tumbling down. And when I glance over and I looked at the river, the purest water I have ever seen. It sparkles, it sparkles and it glitters like diamonds in the water. Never seen this before. And so, I am saying, wow, wow. I was amazed. And at the same point, it dawned on me, Margaret, you're not dead. You're still alive. Because if you're observing all this, and then it was like all of a sudden, the teacher was teaching and the other people who were in the group, they left. And so I'm left there now with this angel, the three angels that brought me here. And so the male angel, he started to talk to me. And he said, Margaret, you see all what you're looking for? It's all inside of you. Because you see, when God created you, he downloaded everything inside of your brain. And it's like this man took my head off, opened the brain, and was showing me, say, here, you see? It's like he opened my brain. Not that he took my head off, sorry. He opened my brain and he was showing me. And he says, so you don't have to be looking here and looking there to find your spirituality. I said, wow. I said, I never knew that. He said, yes. And so I'm going to tell you why he's saying this to me. Because even though I was brought up in a Christian faith, I kept looking at different other religions. And I kept running from this religion to the next. I'm not even going to mention names. Searching for what I don't know. And so God, in his goodness and his mercy, had to send these angels to tell me I need to stop doing that and focus on him. Because he has already given me everything I need to know. And I said, okay, wow. And as I said that, immediately my spirit started to fly back. And the angels beside me again, they're bringing me back. And the next thing I know, I feel my spirit going back into my body through my feet. They're like, whoop! And I bounced up off of the bed. And I said, wow. Because when I'm coming back, I'm seeing my body lying on my bed. But everything happened so fast and so quickly. I said, wow. Wow. This is amazing. I said, I've never seen angels in my life before. At first they scare me, but then I realized that they didn't come to hurt me. They came to take me to another dimension in the spiritual realm to learn something. But Margaret did not learn anything. Because even what the teacher was teaching, I did not pay attention to. I was fascinated by trees dancing, by flowers dancing, by a river running that looks like diamonds, and by the grass popping up every time I push my foot down, popping. It had become like me having fun and playing with the grass. And even the grass was dancing. And so that was my first experience with angels. So I'm just gonna leave you here. I'm not leaving you hanging, trust me. I'm gonna be back. Okay? Thank you.